I would be happy to. I was at a luncheon and a friend sat next to me and he said, have you ever thought about going to Turkey? And I said, no, I never thought about going to Turkey. And he said, well, we're going to sponsor a trip, and these people are so generous and so kind, they will pay for you to go to Turkey. And I said, why not? That sounded like a good deal. And so prior to that, I really was very ignorant and provincial about Turkey. And in May, 20 of us went to your lovely country. Well, I really had sort of, again, a provincial attitude toward the Islamic religion. Certainly didn't know about Mr. Gülen. We were giving books. We were able to meet with the people there in the country. And so it's opened up a whole new view of the world, and certainly Istanbul being the crossroads in many ways, where the East meets the West is such an important country. And learning about its history, its culture, its people has been very life-changing for me.
Great. So did you personally met with Mr. Gülen?
Unfortunately not. I met with people who are very close to Mr. Gülen and would welcome that opportunity someday.
But you did have a chance to read some of his
I read all the books I gave, and we went to the schools, went to Fatih University, and what I've been asked to now is to go back to the school, and I'm hoping to go back next May and actually teach on some of the American culture with the American Culture group there at Fatih University. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm a lawyer, and so I'll be talking about the American legal system and how it's different and how it's unique.
Great.
And besides getting some baklava, which I need.
Sure. So how would you like this evening to be helpful in any kind of
Well, besides getting good food and meeting nice people, I'm just looking forward to learning more about the movement and the things that the Gülen movement is doing and the Interfaith Dialogue is doing throughout the world. And it's always nice to meet people from Turkey because I want to go back.
Great.
Well, both of our faiths, both the Christian faith, my faith, and your faith, share a common custom, which is fasting. And so using the period of fasting to focus on the spiritual things of life. And I think that's good for all of us. We don't have a formal period like you do, but it's part of our religion that we're called upon to fast. And so I've done 1, 2, 3 day fast. And it's such a wonderful thing because it does focus you on what's really important. And it's nice to be reminded of that by your custom of the Ramadan.
I'm familiar with the Gülen Institute. I actually, when I was a professor in Arizona, went on one of the trips to Turkey with the interfaith Right.
So how was your trip? How did you see Turkey? Before you go and after.
Right. Well, I didn't know very much about Turkey before I went, and I had a wonderful time there. The people were very generous and very hospitable, and really opened their hearts to us. So it was a wonderful experience. Well, this is a wonderful country to be in, and certainly we embrace religious freedom, and I think that it's wonderful that people of all faiths, and Muslims in particular, can be free to observe their faith and to celebrate their rituals. So we wish them very well.
I've got through my good friends in Oklahoma. I am from Oklahoma, and have had a lot of work in the area of human rights and religious freedoms, and in both my government roles and in my civic roles in the communities. So I was asked to participate with the Institute of Interfaith Dialogue, and have done so, and was honored to be asked to be one of the co-chairs for the dinner this evening. So that has been quite exciting, and I'm delighted to be here in Washington, D.C. for this evening. I know it is the inaugural event, and it will be a wonderful event in the future. I expect it to grow and grow.
How did you specifically get to know Mr. Gülen?
I've just met Mr. Gülen when he was in Oklahoma through our fine people who are with the Institute of Interfaith Dialogue. I think as you read the mission and the goals of the Gülen Institute and Mr. Gülen, they're inspiring, clearly inspiring, and give us all a lot to think about, especially in this wonderful season of the Islamic faith, of reflection and remembering why it is, as human beings, we exist on this earth and what we bring to one another. An understanding of the Islamic faith an understanding of Muslims is very important for this country in particular, I think, for the United States to achieve, and I'm delighted and honored to be a part of it.
Great. Well, we thank you very much for your time, and I would like you to have an enjoyable night tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we, in the civil rights and civil liberties area of Homeland Security, we try to work in different communities to build relationships and connections so that communities are engaged with their local officials. So Houston is one place where we've really tried to build a deep level engagement. My colleague Sharik Zephyr, who works with us, is
every event I have participated in with Gülen people has been excellent. I've always come away from it feeling uplifted and encouraged because of the wonderful vision that they have. I had a wonderful experience traveling to meet Fethullah Gülen. I think it was really kind of a life-changing experience. He is a person of such deep spirituality and genuineness that it just really touched me the whole time I was there. He amazed me in his interest and his concern for me, for what was happening in Kansas City, and what was happening all over the world. I think this is the uniqueness of a person of that kind of spiritual vision and compassion. The depth of his spirituality came through in almost everything he said. I think what is happening, in part because we're beginning to spend more time with Muslims, we're beginning to respect the disciplines, the spiritual disciplines that make up their life, and Ramadan is one of those. It is encouraging us as Christians, and I think Jews as well, to think about their own spiritual life and their own commitment. And so I think there's something mutual that is happening here. I think it's something that is encouraging us in our spiritual lives, watching Muslims devote themselves to prayer and to meditation.
My name's Ed Stevenson. I'm a Disciples of Christ minister in Kansas City area. First became acquainted in the summer of 2006. Was invited to participate in a trip to Turkey, and was overwhelmed by the hospitality and the humble, unostentatious faith that I encountered, and just moved by the experience in general. It was we had fun with all the scenes and sights and so forth, but the real importance of the trip was meeting people. Tremendous meeting of people, and then subsequently have done a fair amount of reading on Turkish history, but also on the Gülen Movement and things from Fethullah Gülen. Things have been very impressive. Number one, the emphasis on education. In education, opportunity for people of modest and very little means, and that they are providing that kind of opportunity in some of the poorest parts of the world, in some of the most important parts of the world, particularly Central Asia, the Caucasus. That's just strikingly a wonderful way of dealing with some of the problems of our world. The second thing I think that really impressed me, and again had to kind of push people to find out about this, was the faith and piety of the people that we were with on the trip. They didn't show off, they didn't brag about it, but every once in a while they'd disappear, and at first we didn't know where they were going, and so finally I started asking them about it, and they said, well, we're going to pray. I said, well, can we go with you? And they said, yeah, you can go with us, you can pray, you can watch, whatever. And things, that sense of a movement based on real personal faith that was taken seriously, and the emphasis on the importance of education.